Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miscellaneous Gab, and today we are leaving the cold and dreary world of Severance in exchange for the hot and humid landscape of Thailand to discuss White Lotus Season 3, Episode 1. Now, I was so excited for this season, not only because I loved Season 1 and 2, but also because I actually lived in Thailand for about 2 years pretty recently. And fun fact, I actually lived on the island, just one island over from where they film White Lotus. In fact, I have dined at this very hotel, which is the Four Seasons Koh Samui. From the motorbikes to the monkeys to the sounds of the jungle, this really brought me back. I'm going to discuss the episode and then stay tuned until the end where I discuss my theories for who is the shooter / who maybe got shot. We have a new intro. There's a lot of monkey imagery in the opening. Monkeys eating people. We see a lot of monkeys throughout the episode. I do love this intro, and I'm really glad that they're honoring Thailand with the music and the artistic elements, but damn, I do miss the other intro. The first scene features a meditation session between Zion, who seems like a typical college kid visiting his mom, and Amrita, one of the wellness facilitators. If you think about it, people go to the White Lotus for relaxation, wellness, but in a way, the sounds of the jungle, they can be equally relaxing as they can be completely overstimulating at the same time. Like I said, there's a lot of focus on monkeys, and while I'm glad there were no monkeys harmed in making this episode, I do think these monkeys look a little too CGI. All seems to be well until Zion hears the sound of gunshots. Now, I'll talk about this a little bit more later, but guns are not very common in Thailand, like at all. Like compared to America, they're not common. So the fact that whatever is going on is seemingly a shooting is very concerning and peculiar. Anyway, Amrita kind of tries to help Zion, but then as soon as the bullet hits the glass, she just nopes the fuck out of there. And honestly, she's so real for that. Zion is very concerned because his mother is there and he wants to go look for her. What follows is a very disorienting and scary scene. He hears people running, he hears people screaming, he hears these gunshots. He's in the water. He doesn't know if he's a sitting duck or if he's undercover. He goes to this Buddhist statue and basically says, "You better make sure my mother's all right, motherfucker." The scene ends with a body floating in this little pond area. Now, they do a great job of not really showing you too much of who or what it is. The whole question here is, are multiple people getting shot or is there one target of the shooting? Then we head to the boat. We start with a really catchy song. We get introduced to pretty much everyone other than staff who is relevant. We immediately see Belinda looking out. Now, if you recall, Belinda was the spa manager from season 1 in Hawaii. Then she actually became friends with our good friend Jennifer Coolidge, rest in peace. I'm not even gonna call her Tanya. I'm just gonna call her Jennifer. I'm very sad that she's not in this season. We see Rick and Chelsea. Rick immediately pulls out a pack of cigarettes like he freaking owns the place. Like it's not 2025 when people are very bothered by the smoke and just start smoking, which really pisses off the Ratliff family. I am not a big fan of smoking myself, but in Thailand, it's very normal. It's not the same vibe of like, don't smoke in public, don't smoke here. So I could see why Rick maybe didn't think that was as rude as it is. Rick seems kind of shady. I mean, either way, you just know he's not a good guy. He's cranky. He doesn't give an F. His girlfriend, Chelsea, is obviously much younger and seems a lot more chipper and cheerful and just kind of excited about the experience. We don't know why they're in Thailand, and we don't yet find out, although there is a bit of mystery around this. Then let's move to the Ratliff family. Some things are clear about the Ratliff family from right off the bat. They're very southern, prim, and proper. We have the father, Timothy, the mother, Victoria, the eldest son, Saxon, the middle daughter, Piper, and the youngest son, Lachlan. We have a little bit of an altercation between him telling Rick to stop smoking. Saxon has to insert himself in. We really see that he likes to prove himself and even puts his hands on Rick. His personality type is going to be very relevant to the story, and I think there's a lot more we'll see play out there. Then we have the three girls. I'll get more into them later. Right now, it just feels like a fun little girls trip. Who doesn't love a fun girls trip? Then we meet Mook and Guy Took, and we can tell that they're friends, coworkers, colleagues. Mook is absolutely beautiful. We also meet Fabian, who is the general manager. He kind of seems like this skittish German guy, as well as Sritala, who is the owner, the pioneer of the wellness center. She's married to a very wealthy American. I love how she's just a diva. She is taking her time, and I find this to be a very interesting shift in dynamic of the staff of the White Lotus, which are always very accommodating, very yes sir, yes ma'am, whatever we can do. They know their place, but it seems like this owner, she wants people to know that she is the owner. It's on her schedule. When she meets the actress, she says, I was an actress too. I was a singer. All my songs are popular over Thailand. She's got a little bit of a diva thing going on. I mean, damn, why wouldn't she? She looks great. The crew arrives with the traditional warm welcome and warmth from the White Lotus staff. Right away, Rick seems hella annoyed. He still doesn't have any time for this. The Ratliff family arrives and they seem like chronic oversharers, like they're just always kind of sharing things that people didn't ask to know. Again, very Southern. We learn that they're here because their daughter is a religious studies major in college and wants to study Buddhism. So why not go fly across the world to a 5-star resort to give your daughter this opportunity? It seems like the biggest dilemma that the Ratliff family is dealing with is should their youngest son go to Duke or UNC. We learn that Belinda is here as a work exchange program to, quote, bring the magic back to Maui. I don't know if there's been any PR fallout disaster of the White Lotus brand, considering the death of their general manager in season 1. Seems like she's a little burnt out. She needs this break, and this is also she can learn from their wellness program and bring it back to Hawaii. In general, she seems like the most grateful person. Perhaps this is because she is a service worker and she might not be able to otherwise afford such a lavish vacation. The only thing she's a little bit uncertain about is the wildlife, the lizards, the snakes, the monkeys, and then also perhaps she's a bit unsure of the gods and the spirituality structure of Thailand. As soon as the wellness coordinator Pam meets up with the Ratliff family, we learn that there is no Wi-Fi and no phones are encouraged. I think this would be a problem for any 2025 person, but it seems like Mr. Tim, the patriarch, has the biggest problem with it. He refuses to put his phone in the bag and says, of course, okay, he won't use it in public places, but he needs his damn phone. Saxon and Piper discuss who should share a bedroom with the youngest brother, Lachlan, and the whole thing is weird. It's weird because they make it weird. I am the eldest of 5 kids. I have younger brothers. I have younger sisters. This is weird. They're making it very, very weird right here in a way that like I don't feel like is normal for siblings. More on that later. Pam mentions the poison fruit from the pong pong tree. Sus. I'm thinking this is a Chekhov's fruit situation, that the seeds are poisonous, toxic, and could kill you. Will someone try to poison someone? Will someone try to poison themselves? Next, we check in on Rick and Chelsea. He asks Mook, is the hotel owner, is she married? And Mook says yes to Jim Hollinger. He seems like he already knew that he was just asking this as a way to ease into the conversation, and seems visibly perturbed by the fact that he is actually in Bangkok and is not there. Because we don't know why they're in Thailand in general, we can only guess that he has come to arrange a run-in with Jim Hollinger. Maybe he's in debt, maybe they know each other, maybe he needs help. Drop your theories below. We also learned that Chelsea wanted to go to Australia but can't because Rick can't go. She asked, would you be arrested there? And it's very unclear. I'm kind of leaning towards the sort of con man type of angle, but we shall see. We check in on the 3 friends, and what I said originally as a fun, light girls trip is definitely a lot more complicated. If you're a woman, you know that threesome of girls is always hard. There is always some girl that is going to feel left out. This is infinitely more complicated when one of the girls is a famous movie star and she's footing the bill of the entire vacation. Jacqueline is paying for everything. Kate seems to always be there with like the perfect compliment, the perfect ass kiss, like the perfect way to stay in Jacqueline's good graces. Lori is clearly the odd one out. She is not only removed physically by staying in kind of the farther room, but it seems like she's always left out of the compliment circle jerk. So definitely watching this group and the awkwardness that I see here. If you've ever been in a group and you're the odd one out, you know, and you're always kind of cataloging like what is going on. Pornchai introduces Belinda to the altar and says spirits are everywhere. We give them offerings of good luck and protection. Mook seems impressed by the bad boys hanging outside of the White Lotus. One of them is carrying a gun in the holster. They are the personal security of the Hollinger family. Now, I think this is a Chekhov's gun scenario. Like I said, guns not very common in Thailand at all. I do think this might be the gun that is ended up fired at the end. With these islands, with Koh Samui, Koh Tao, and Koh Phangan, they're very much like run by the Thai mafia. I do kind of get that vibe from these personal security guards. Mook and Guy Talk, he kind of says like, why do you like those guys? And Mook delivers a very very harsh dose of reality. Like, man, you're nice, but you're just kind of looking at cars going by every day. These guys can travel. These guys have money. I think Mook knows that she is a hot commodity. She can have her pick up the litter, but unfortunately, this is a classic case of a nice guy finishing last, so justice for him. Meanwhile, at the pool, we learn that Saxon is a douche. He is thirsty and he's trying to get any girl that looks his way. Now, I don't know about you, but no matter how attractive or well-built Patrick Schwarzenegger is in real life, this is an immediate example of someone becoming instantly repulsive by just how desperate they are. While he's being a douche, Piper and Locke go to the temple. I find her clothes a bit weird. She sort of dresses like a milkmaid. It's very frock-like. She's not ready to go into this temple, which they came all the way across the world for, and I don't really know what's up with her. I can't really tell. I find this shot interesting. We see a shot of a 5G tower juxtaposed with the old temple pillar in the background, and I feel like that is meaningful, mixing the new with the old, the tech with the spirituality. You honor and respect that versus you come in with your ideas. Ratliff gets a message from a journalist. We sort of get this idea that he's maybe caught up in something. He's being investigated. Maybe there's a expose being written. A journalist is doing some digging, and this seems to be a cause of concern for him. I think it would make perfect sense if he is involved in some sort of shady dealing in some way. Saxon tries to hit on Chelsea by saying, "So where do you get a drink out around here?" And she says, "You walk up to the bar and you order it." No one seems interested in Saxon, and maybe that's going to rattle him up a bit more. Meanwhile, at dinner, Rick abandons Chelsea, where she meets and befriends a model who seems like is on a similar vibe, kind of drinking their sorrows. They're annoyed at their boyfriend. She says that there's a lot of bald ass men around here that they call losers back home. And then the camera reveals that her boyfriend is none other than Greg, nasty ass, rat ass Greg, who is the reason why our girl, our Reverend Mother, Jennifer Coolidge, is no longer in the show. We know that he tried to rob her and do away with her, take her $500 million fortune, and we never figured out exactly what happens to him. We know that they're not staying at the White Lotus, but that they live on top of the hill, maybe in some beautiful overlooking Thai villa using her money. Damn it, Greg. Tim and Rick cross paths and it's clear that they hate each other. I kind of see this as that little conflict in season 1, I'm forgetting their names, between the general manager and the guy who's on his honeymoon, and just how they like fucking hated each other. The three friends exchange more fake pleasantries at dinner, and it's all very weird. Like, you look like the youngest. No, you're the youngest. No, you have the nicest boyfriend. Clearly everyone's very jealous of Jacqueline, and Lori goes up to the room and sort of wails while looking at them enjoying their time together. Shout out to Lori for being the same actress that's in The Leftovers, which is one of my all-time favorite shows. This episode ends with Saxon saying that his sister is hot, kind of talking about if she's been laid, which is also weird. In an ultimate bringing just disgustingness into this wellness spiritual space, he goes to J.O. in the bathroom and like tells his brother what he's doing. If you gotta take care of business, take care of business, but he's pulling up corn on his iPad, walking in, dropping trowel. We get a shot. I'm pretty sure poor Lachlan got a shot, and this feels very dark and sinister. While that's happening, Tim seems really red-ass about Rick, and it's like he can't let it go. His wife Victoria was like, well, I mean, you have a beautiful wife, and what does he have, lung cancer? They definitely think very highly of themselves. Throughout the episode, the camera kind of pans out on these two in their room, and we see several of these shots throughout the episode where it almost seems like someone is watching these people, and I can only guess that this is the monkeys. The monkeys are watching. Let's get into our who is the shooter corner, where I go through each character and I rank how likely they are to be the shooter or be the shootee. So first we have Timothy. Now, if he were to shoot anyone, it would 100% be Rick for smoking or just generalized douchiness. Victoria, I think she's pretty low on the shooting scale, but I could see her going nuts, maybe shooting Rick. Maybe she shoots her husband because she finds something out bad about him that happens. Saxon could shoot a girl for rejecting him or could also shoot Rick for smoking. It seems like if he does not get out some of this testosterone, he might boil over. Piper is low on the shooting poll. If she's gonna shoot anyone, it would probably be Saxon. Lachlan is also very low on the shooting poll. If he's gonna shoot anyone, it would be Saxon. Now let's get into the three girls. Jacqueline, the famous actress, I think her shooting score likelihood is pretty low. Kate is also low to medium. If she were to shoot anyone, it would be Lori. And if Lori were to shoot anyone, it would be Kate. I think Lori is probably the most likely to be the shooter of that group. Now let's get to the weird couple. So we have the British girlfriend, Chelsea. If she's gonna shoot anyone, I think it's gonna be Rick, or she could potentially shoot Greg. Maybe she and Chloe kind of become this like little girl boss team. team and they want to get rid of these gross losers in their lives. Rick seems like he could shoot Tim because they're going to get into it, or just like shoot anyone. Maybe the bodyguards start shooting everybody, or they shoot Rick because he's trying to get too close to the Hollingers. Chloe and Greg, maybe Chloe finds out the truth about Greg and shoots him, and maybe Greg will shoot anyone to keep his story safe. Mook is pretty low on the shooting scale. I think she would only shoot in self-defense. We hear way too many shots for that to be kind of like a self-defense situation. It really seems like quite a lot of shots. Guy Talk could be tired of being a lowly valet and grab the gun from the bodyguards and shoot them because they are trying to kidnap Mook. Sritala could shoot Rick for trying to stalk her and her husband, or just shoot any damn person that's not following her rules. Fabian, the general manager of the White Lotus, could have some sort of mental breakdown and just start shooting any and everybody, but I don't think a mental breakdown general manager would be good for this season because we've already had that in season 1. I don't see Pornchai, the wellness expert, shooting. Pam, the Aussie hotel staffer, I don't really have an opinion. Valentine, the handsome wellness coordinator, don't really have a good read on him. And then we know it's not Amrita or Zion, who is still not in the show at this time. We just see the flash forward of him. That's my analysis. Those are my theories for what's to come. What did you think? Are you excited for the next episode? If you're new around here, please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, make sure you like and comment below. I read every single comment and I love discussing theories and first impressions with you guys. If you want to see more White Lotus content, let me know and stay tuned. I make tons of Severance videos ongoing with the current season, as well as lots of other videos out there. So make sure you check out my collections this week while we wait for more Severance and more White Lotus. Thank you again. Goodbye.